Hey guys, what's up? This is Nayan here from Barrack Solutions, and today in this Raspberry Pi tutorial we will learn how we can install Raspberry Pi Fedora 17 Remix, which is a proper desktop Linux operating system for a Raspberry Pi. So first we need to go to this particular link which is there on your screens and also in the description below. Over there at the bottom where you see this section installing the Raspberry Pi Fedora 17 Remix, you will have an option to download the latest version of Fedora 17 Remix. Just click on that link, and when you click on that link you'll have two versions or more than that. Currently it's showing two, that is R1 and R2. Select the latest one. The latest one you can see by the date, it's 4th December 2012. Just click on that particular zip file and it should start downloading. It's a pretty large file, and once the download is complete you will have something like this, a zip file. And once you extract this particular zip file you will have a .img file, which is the file which has to be written to your SD card and make it bootable. Now we will connect our Raspberry Pi. So first take in your HDMI cable and just plug it in right over here. Just push it a bit hard. Then take in your SD card which has the Fedora Remix installed on it, and then just put it at the back of the Raspberry Pi like this, nice and good. And then take in your micro USB cable and just plug it next to the SD card slot. Make sure the output of this micro USB cable is 5 volts and 700 milliamperes. Then just take your mouse, that's the USB mouse, and just plug it in to one of the slots of the USB, and also take in your USB keyboard and just plug it in to the next slot of the USB. Once you have done that, your Raspberry Pi has been successfully connected with all the connections and you're good to go. Now just power on your device and wait. Now as you can see, it will ask you for a setup process and you need to go through this setup process. So first thing that it is asking is the license information. Let me just zoom out a bit. Okay, so the license information is being asked, and just click on forward at the right hand corner bottom with the help of your mouse. Now you need to select your keyboard. In the keyboard section just select the keyboard of your country. I'll be going for US English. Now you need to select your time zone. So I'll just go for India, that is Kolkata, and I have selected Kolkata and I'll select forward. Now it will ask you for the date and time settings. You can synchronize it over the internet. However, I have not connected the Ethernet, so I don't have any internet connection on my Raspberry Pi at the moment. So I will just set it manually. I'm sorry, it's 2013 and it's January 31st, and the time is 15 hours and 45 minutes and some amount of seconds. So just click on forward, and after that you can resize your root file system. Now if you're having a SD card which is like 8 GB or something, you can definitely add more amount of storage to your root file system, and this root file system is nothing but your files of your Fedora operating system. So I would suggest you stick with 1 GB. 1 GB is more than enough for it to boot up fast and load up the files faster. So resize it to 1024 MB. And then click on forward once again. And now it will ask you to create a new user. In the new user section, you need to type in the full name, the username, password. So I will type in my name with the help of my keyboard, and my username will be Nayan, and my password will be, just give me a second. Once you have typed in the password, next to the username you will have an option that is add to the administrators group. This will make you the administrator. Now if you want to use network authentication, then you can go for those settings, but at the moment we don't want any internet settings, so you can just click on forward. After that, you need to also type in the password for your root file system. In Linux there are two passwords. One is the admin password and second is the root file system password. The root file system password will be used to access the root files either through the terminal or through applications. So just type in the same password or something else, but make sure this has to be remembered if you want to access the root files. So I have selected the password and I will click on forward once again. Now it is asking for a system settings. Now in the system settings it is asking what name of your Raspberry Pi you want to give for other devices to see on the network. Now suppose if my Windows is connected to my Mac over the same internet network at my house, then it will be known as something like Nayan-Windows 7, or my Mac will be known as Nayan Seth's MacBook Pro. So similarly you have to give a host name to your Raspberry Pi. I will stick with raspi.local. And you can also go with the video configuration if you want to have no overscan or you want to have overscan. Now overscan, what it will do is it will cut down some amount of, it will create black checkerboards on all the four sides. So I will suggest go for no overscan. And according to your area, just select NTSC or PAL. I'm going for the HDMI only and no overscan. After that you can select the boot type. I will go for the graphical boot type and then just click on finish. Now just wait for some time and it should get the things done properly. So there we have, that's the graphical boot, and it's written Fedora Remix. Now it's going through all the file system loading up, and this is the Linux code which comes up every time you boot up a Linux machine. So as you can see, the Fedora operating system, that's the Fedora Remix, has booted up. Now it should pop up with the login screen and it's showing Nayan Seth in the middle. I will just zoom in for you guys. There you go, it shows Nayan Seth. Just click on it and type in the password. Okay, so the password has been typed and just wait and watch what happens. The issue with Fedora Remix is that it takes quite a lot of time to load up the files from the operating system, as well as the operating system overall on the Raspberry Pi works pretty okayish. It's not that great, the performance is poor. So I didn't find it a great operating system to be used on the Raspberry Pi. And as you can see clearly, it's taking quite a lot of time. Okay, so now it is asking us that welcome to the first start of the panel, and you want to use the default panel, that is the default configuration, or use one empty panel. I will go for the default configuration, and when you do that, there is a panel just like the Mac OS X loaded up on the top. Let me show that to you. There you go. So that's the panel loaded up on the top, and we have a dock just like the Mac OS X, and on the left hand side we have a file system, home, trash and bootloader files. So that's pretty much that's how you install Fedora Remix on operating system on your Raspberry Pi, and it's a full desktop OS running on the Raspberry Pi. Hope you enjoyed this tutorial and you liked it. Please rate, comment, subscribe and visit techbarrack.com.